the Millionaire Imprint for Women. This new radio show is about imprinting wealth for women, inspiring women of all ages to heal their karmic debts, to transcend the shame of poverty consciousness that women have lived with for centuries. It's time for women, for you, to have a new relationship with money, to radiate wealth from the inside out. We are creating a ripple effect, empowering millions of women to claim their inner wealth. Join Susan, Samantha, Momo, and Kornelia Fridays from 1 to 2 on the Kornelia Stephanie Show at Transformation Talk Radio. Are you in?
Are you in? Welcome everybody to the Millionaire Imprint for Women. Hi, Momo.
Hi, Kornelia.
Yay! I'm so excited about today's show because you're going to break it down for us. You're going to break it all the way down and you're going to tell us the number one thing that we need to do and be to attract all of the abundance that's available for all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
So to start by answering that question, because we can start on it, but there's so much to break down around it, is alignment. Everything in our life that we do for the feeling of wanting the feeling that we think that we would get from having of it, right? So we want more money, we want a car, we want a home, we want to be out of debt. All these things that we want in our life is literally, if you break it down, why do we want it? It comes down to how we would feel by how we think we will feel by having of it. So we know we want to be out of debt because that makes us feel safe, or we feel worthy, or like we don't owe anyone, right? That's a good feeling. Or we want more money because we want to have the freedom. We want to feel free to do whatever we want, buy the food that we want, care for the people that we love, right? But it's this feeling behind it that is the motivator or the inspiration to do and want all the things that we want, all the desires that we have. So alignment, simply broken down, it's an emotion. It's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's a vibration, it's a frequency. What emotion is it? It's actually the highest emotion. So it's bliss, joy, love, appreciation, gratitude, all that lumped into one. However, whatever word you want to use to describe it, we've all felt it. We felt that infinite bliss. We've all felt that excitement, that pure joy of, from whatever reason. So that is what alignment is. And that is what's going to fuel us in the right direction and help sift and sort out all the stuff that we don't want and what we don't have to do to get what we want.
When I was preparing for this show, I was thinking about, I love this topic and what it is that you are talking about today. And I thought, okay, what I want to do is I want to give people a story, a practical story that they can use so that we can tell the story and then you can kind of walk us through it from there. We can kind of do it that way. And I'll give you an example. Someone that I'm just coaching now, but I'm just going to give you the story of what she's going through, and then you can put your piece of it in there. So she just recently moved into a new place. She's an entrepreneur. She just moved into a new place and doesn't have a secure income, right? She doesn't have a steady, secure income. And many entrepreneurs can relate to that because they're out there, they're doing their things. They don't really have that steady, secure income, right? So, but she moved into her place. She's got her house. She's happy. Everything is great. So, now all of a sudden it's like comes the first of the month, she was like, work was slower and the money wasn't rolling in the way that she thought. So how does that fit into what you're talking about with alignment?
Yes. So we always actualize into our reality what we're vibrational frequency match to. So if things don't come in as the way that we expect or had wished for or desired for, that means that is what we're available for in our frequency, in our energetic field. That's how much we're allowing in. It's not bad. You're allowing in something that's great. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It's just you're limiting the amount that you're allowing in. So by that, I mean, because it's all frequency, this is all law of attraction, by standing in the frequency of the solution, of the answers, of what you want, it is law that more of that has to appear and manifest. This is how the universal laws work. So again, in this case, in this scenario for her, it's not that she's not doing what's right. She's not allowing in all that she can in. So her job, what she can do right now in this moment without even changing anything, is to start working on her alignment. So because she already has a momentum going, because she's got stuff coming in and she is going in the right direction where money is flowing in, that's a good thing. We want to work with that. We want to build on that. We're going to use this power of alignment to allow more of that in. So this is going to sound really simple and easy, almost too easy. Like, wait, that's all I have to do. But we're programmed, remember, to think that things have to be hard. So it might be a little mind-boggling. But what you have to do to get into alignment is look in the direction that makes you feel good. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the emotional scale. So in terms of vibration frequency, every emotion has its own vibration. Some emotions are higher in the frequency and some are lower. So the lower ones would be like the depression, the feeling sad, feeling just kind of low. Those are the easy ones to think about. And then in between, there's kind of there's a whole bunch of arrays of emotions, and then there becomes a rest point. So there's a tipping point, which is described as like the anger, frustration, irritation. You're no longer starting to be like, I'm not buying into this anymore. Something has to change. I need to change something. That's this anger piece, right? So people actually think anger is a bad emotion, but actually that's what pushes you over the edge to get to the higher emotions that are, it might be a little bit of a resting point, which is maybe a little bit of a boredom, a little bit of a uninspired space. And then from there comes this is kind of cool. Oh, look at this is happening. Oh, I'm kind of grateful for that. Oh, I didn't expect that to happen. And then comes the joy and the love and the appreciation to all the other higher vibrations. So there's a whole scale of emotions. And the first thing she needs to determine is where she is on that scale. So in this moment, where is she at? Where is she vibrating? Is she a little frustrated with where she at? Is she feeling a little doubtful of how things might work out? Is she feeling where is she? Right? Most likely she's in a place of frustration. I was expecting it to be this way. This is not what I expected. I can't deal with this. I need something better. So if she's in a place of frustration, and if she's not, she just has to get herself up to that place, right? If she's in the place, now she knows where she is and she knows where she wants to be, which is the joy, the bliss, the ease, and the love and the gratitude. So all she has to do is point her nose in the right direction. As long as her nose is pointed up and not down, and keep on feeding that momentum, she's going to keep climbing higher and higher and higher naturally.
And is that the alignment you're talking about? Is moving into alignment, right?
Yes, exactly. Going up the emotional scale. That's what I mean by alignment.
Yeah. And that's really the best way to achieve it, is by just keep going up and up and up. And moving into that higher state of vibrational alignment, feelings, joy, bliss, whatever it is, whatever it is for her. And then be that match to whatever it is that she wants to allow in.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if anyone wants a reference for the scale, because I actually have a scale that I look at, one of my favorite authors, Lola Jones, she has a book called Divine Openings. I think she has a few books. One of them is called Be Careful Where You Point That Thing.
Okay.
Talking about your attention, right, and alignment. But there's actually on her website, there is you can just Google Divine Openings emotional scale. It's up there. But they actually have a scale that you can look at and kind of see where you are, and you can reference that to see what you needed to get there.
Oh, that's perfect. What was it called? Divine Openings?
Yes, Divine Openings, Lola Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. That's her book, and her website also already has that scale there, so you don't actually have to buy the book. I mean, although the book is great, but you don't have to buy the book. It's all there. Yeah. So that's what I like to reference to, and that's a really good place to start. And how to actually move yourself up the scale, that's the work that we do, right? That's where the coaching comes in. That's where the specific, when roadblocks come up, or when you just can't get yourself to that place of okay, let's do this. And you're still kind of in that this a depressed state, and you just can't get yourself over that hill. That's where we come in. We help you identify what it is that are the resistances, that are blocks that are keeping you there, rather than naturally flowing up.
Right. And like you said earlier, you have to be in alignment to what it is that you allow in. Are you keeping it out, or are you letting it come in? Right? Are you being a receiver,
right,
or are you blocking it?
Exactly. So one of the other great things that I was just listening to, I'm like a coachaholic. I listen to all kinds of coaches, but one of the money coaches that I've been listening to, whom I love, she likes to talk about how she was just talking about actually how you don't want to be a doer, you want to be a receiver. Your main job in this life to be a receiver, not a doer. So the doing comes out of inspiration just for fun. And your only job is to receive and to get out of the damn way so that you can.
Exactly. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that what we're supposed to do? Isn't that to be receivers of what it is that we're creating? So it's already been created. So we've already put it all out there.
Yes.
We've already, put our desires out there, and we've already, okay. And so now just allow it to come in. It's that boomerang that you put out there, that
exactly. Exactly. And it sounds really simple, but when you do put a desire out there, let's say there's a whole bunch of resistance or things that need to be cleared in order for that to actually fully come into fruition. So your job is to as it comes up, deal with it as it comes, clear it, shift it, let it go, surrender, do your work. That's the inner work that we do. Get into alignment and then keep building that momentum behind it so that alignment is solid. So you're going to come in and out of alignment. That's natural, right?
Yeah.
That's a natural part of being human and of life. But your goal is to make sure that momentum is still going in that direction. It doesn't matter if you fall in and out, as long as the nose is pointing up and it's going in the direction that you want. Your GPS is still pointing to the destination, Hawaii, let's say. Yeah. Then you're going to get to Hawaii eventually, as long as the energy is going in that direction.
As long as you keep the dial on 102.9.
Exactly. There you
right?
go.
It's like keep the dial on 102.9. Don't change the dial.
Stay
right?
on the right frequency.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
you just gotta ride it out.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So be that 102.9 frequency of allowing that abundance to come in. So we moved into alignment in segment 1. In segment 2, we're going to give you more tools on how to attract the abundance that you're seeking. We'll be right back with Momo. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kornelia Stephanie, and I'm here to inspire creatively wild women to rise rooted in spiritual and material abundance.
Hi, my name is Momo Yasutake. I am a healer, a soul strategist, a transformation coach, and manifestation queen, here to help liberate souls so that you can become the wealthiest version of yourself inside and out.
Hi there, I'm Samantha, and I'm here to inspire women to claim their wealth, vision, and their powerful presence.
Hi, my name is Susan Glavin, and I'm here to start an evolutionary revolution among women. It's time that we stand, we declare, we command, and we claim our abundant wealth.
Every Friday, you benefit from the experience of women who share their financial wisdom. For more information, go to KorneliaStephanie.com.
We're back. We're back on the Kornelia Stephanie Show, the Millionaire Imprint with Momo. Yay.
All righty. So if anyone wants to work with me in getting into alignment, having fun, bringing in more money, more abundance into your life, you can contact me or you can reach me at momoyasutake.com. I'll spell that. It's MOMOYASUTAKE.com. And you can click free consult and we can connect and talk immediately. Or you can find me on Instagram. My handle name is Momo Juliet with 1 T, MOMOJULIET. And you can direct message me. That's probably the fastest way, actually. But yep.
Awesome. You're going to give us some core roots of the negativity, the negative beliefs, the negative limiting.
Yes. So that's a part of this like kind of 5-step process that I have. And this 5-step process is just 5 practical steps in how to create the life and allow in the abundance that you want into your life. So the first step, I got this inspiration from, God, I forgot his name already, another coach, another very, very famous CEO who runs a hedge fund and all that good stuff. And he talks about it, the 5 steps to success. So I use that as a kind of like a blueprint to add in the alignment, the piece to it. But the first step is to identify your goals, right? So you have to know what you want to create what you want. So you have to get really, really super clear on your goals. This is anything that we desire. We desire, again, because we think that we're going to feel a certain way by having it. So we have to get super clear on the feelings first. We have to identify the feelings first, the emotions behind why we want it, and then start feeling in what it is exact that we want. And the key to this step is to not go into too much detail if you're not 100% behind it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to stay general because you want to keep your feeling high before you hit all that. You don't want to start working for money if you have a lot of resistance around money. You want to start from something a lot more general and wean your way into it. So that's the first piece. The second step is to identify your problem. So what are the roadblocks? What are the current circumstances in your life that you don't want? So what does your current reality look like? And what about that you want to change, what you want to shift? And then this is just a lot about finding proof of why it doesn't have to be this way. So that's a lot of the steps there, is to finding proof for yourself within, because it's in there. It's a matter of where we want to focus our attention. So we just need to find proof and validating why our current reality doesn't have to stay the way that it is. So once you solidify that, the next step is finding the root cause. So this is the piece I'm going to talk about right now. This is about finding the limiting beliefs and the thought patterns, the stories, the programs that you're running on consciously or unconsciously, usually not conscious, to then basically step out of that matrix, step out of that program to be able to start creating what you actually want. So if it hasn't manifested yet, if you haven't created it yet, if your reality doesn't look like the way you want it to yet, that means there's still something in you that you're running on that isn't allowing it in.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so that doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. There might be a belief that's not allowing it in, like, well, do I really deserve it? Is that even possible? Like, doubt is the biggest thing. The what ifs, the doubts, well, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm not worth it? What if I don't know how to handle it when it comes in?
Or what if, so I'm just going to refer back to the client.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to refer back to the client who was, worried about, is she going to bring in the money to pay her rent?
Mm-hmm.
And then once she moved into alignment, she actually moved into alignment. Now she's in alignment. Mm-hmm. So then she's taking action on, doing what she loves doing, right? And she's doing all. So then the doubt came in. Mm-hmm. The doubt came in, and then what is she supposed to do?
Okay, so there's questions to ask yourself, and you really have to commit and have the intention to be radically honest with yourself, or it's not going to come up. But you have to ask the question: why do I not want what I think I want? Because if it hasn't come yet, there is a reason why you don't want it. There's a reason why it's more convenient for you to not have it. Whatever, even if it's real or not real, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's something that you believe to be true, and so therefore it is. So this is journaling process, writing process, and this is where I come in as a coach, but for you specifically, but journal. And I do this all the time. I ask this question because I know on a general basis from the law of attraction that if I have a desire of having of it, then there is a possibility that exists in which I already have it. It's already existed. It's already there.
And you have a belief. Mm-hmm. You have a belief right now that you have bought into. Mm-hmm. That speaks to exactly that. That
yes.
As far as the law of attraction is concerned, that if you have a desire, that it's already it's yours.
Exactly. And
you have that belief. You have that belief. It's a knowing. You'll stand for it. You're just like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right. And it's a belief now because I've seen it happen over, and just because this stuff works, if it works, why mess with it? And number two, also, it's a fun belief to have. It can only help you. It can't harm you.
Oh, so, it's totally supportive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a part of it. So when you identify, so this is the thing with beliefs, you get to choose what belief you want to buy into. You get to choose what rules you want to live by.
And during that journaling that you're doing, that's where you're able to actually then isn't that where you can see some of the negative limiting beliefs as you're journeying out, going, oh, I don't believe it's possible.
Right. I don't believe it's possible. I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know if I can handle the money. What would I do with that money? A lot of people want money to come in, but they have no idea where it would go or what they would do with it. They have a certain sum. For example, wanting to manifest money to clear debt can be a really sticky thing because there's this thing around debt that's already so charged. And there's almost like, I want it so I can give it away. Instead of I want it to nourish me, I want it to feel good, I want to feel safe. It's not the same. It's the desire behind it is actually coming from a place of lack.
And when you think about debt, feel the feelings that when you talk about debt, what you feel, there's so much shame.
Yes.
The energy of shame, which is the lowest vibration there is. There isn't a vibration that's lower than shame. Shame attached to debt, shame attached to money. Both those things are there, right?
Absolutely. And that's why when we usually first start with this, the practice, we don't focus with the attention to money, because money is already filled with, oh, I don't have enough. Oh, I'm shameful of not having enough, not being able to pay rent, or not knowing how I'm going to bring in money. Just that in itself, I can already feel it. It doesn't feel good. It feels like I like want to hide. I feel ashamed. I feel like embarrassed. I feel like I shouldn't tell anyone. So you have to start focusing on a subject outside of money first, get yourself into alignment. Then what you do, so you actually kind of make a few lists. My thing is ask a question, start writing down lists. Beliefs that you want to believe in or know you believe in for sure. Beliefs, why this can be, why it can't be. So those are like the 3 lists that I make. And then why you can't be is your work. That is all your belief systems that you need to work on. Those are all the things that want to shift and need to shift for all the other things to come in. But whenever you hit a roadblock, what you do is you just go general. This is the teachings of Abraham Hicks. It's no secret. It's kind of funny. It's no secret, but it kind of is. But it's all just Abraham Hicks. She talks about this all the time.
Yeah.
But you just have to go general. You have to focus on a subject that you don't have any resistance to, like, to feel good first. And it doesn't have to be about creating something. It's about creating the feeling of feeling good. So what I like to do is wake up in the morning, start off with the pillow exercise that she talks about, which is to feel how good it feels to have your head on a pillow. And then from there, I start to feel into, oh God, these sheets are amazing. I have an amazing bed. I feel so good. Oh, I feel so rested. I open my eyes. Oh God, the sun is so beautiful. You start by how good you feel in whatever thing that you can focus on to make you feel good. And then once you're in alignment and feeling good, you start, you can focus on money, for example, and going, okay, well, what is it I want about money? And then immediately if you have a not so good feeling, then you go, okay, what is that not so good feeling? And start identifying it, and then write down your list.
Yeah.
Of why you don't feel like you can have that.
Yeah, I think, when you can embrace that you are actually your own inner alchemist.
Yes.
When you can embrace that you're actually your own shaman, that you become, right? That it's like once you write it all out and you're journaling, asking yourself the questions, like,
yes,
you're bringing yourself into a vibrational match with what it is that you want, right? And the main reason why Momo and I are sitting here talking to you about this is because we've been there. And this is what we do. We had to also let go of the limiting beliefs and the old negative emotion that wasn't serving us any longer, so that we can be in our integrity. And our integrity is that we are absolutely bliss.
Yes.
Bliss,
Absolutely.
feeling good. That's the integrity. And being wealthy and having what it is that we want and living our life in freedom, right?
And I just want to clarify too, because people, when we talk about alignment and all this good feeling stuff, people go, oh, but that's just so woohoo. That's so like vague. That's not tangible. That's not practical. And we're like, no. Imagine yourself taking the actions, right? But from an inspired place. Imagine yourself doing things because of the joy that it brings you. So you're already in that vibration when you're taking that action. You don't need an outcome for you to feel that way. You already feel that way. So imagine what's going to follow from that. It's like you're fueled by the cosmos. You're like backed up by the cosmos. That's the best business partner you can ever have.
Yeah. And I want to add to that, because it reminds me of, okay, you're either coming from the survival matrix of that you were tied into before, or you're coming from the bliss matrix, the new earth. Right. That's in your alignment. That's in your integrity. It's just those two things that are playing out, either survival and old matrix, consciousness, beliefs, all that, or the new. And then you just choose, right?
Yeah. And this is the thing too. In every moment, you're choosing between these two matrices.
Mm-hmm.
To make it really, really, really simple, it's the emotion of fear versus love.
Yeah.
In every moment, you get to choose to buy into the fear or buy into the love. And in every moment, every thought, because a belief is just a thought that you keep repeating to yourself until you believe to be true. That's all it is. It's just a solidified thought. It's a thought pattern, right? And then you keep repeating it over and over and over, and then you create more and more proof that it's real because you're thinking it over and over, and then it's solid, and now it's a belief. Now that's a truth, and that's how your reality works.
Yeah. And then you're looking for evidence to prove that.
Exactly.
So that you can continue on telling the same story.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a never ending cycle. So it's up to you to decide if you want to stay in that story. You're very welcome to stay in that story if that brings you. And most people, a lot of the reasons, like a popular belief system that I run into a lot with clients is that it feels safer to be in a place of victim, in a place of not being responsible for your own reality, than to be responsible for your own reality. For whatever reason, why, it just feels safer.
Yeah. Because you don't have to take the responsibility.
Exactly. And that's scary to take responsibility.
It's scary to take responsibility for so much, right?
Exactly. And then it comes wait, so every single thought that I think, I'm going to create it. Oh no. Does that mean that, like all the thoughts that happen in your mind, you think is just like a little private thing that no one really looks at or like feels or hears or whatever, like it's having no effect on anyone else in your life or yours, but it actually is.
Yeah.
And that's a big concept to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first piece that most people run into.
I love unveiling the limiting beliefs and getting clear on that. So we moved into alignment segment 1. We uncovered negative limiting beliefs and getting into that feel good state and choosing and, getting the clear steps. And now we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back. And then we'll give you some more how to move into the abundance that you seek in the world. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Charlene Hess, and I want to share with you my wonderful experience of choosing to use Kornelia Stephanie as my life coach. My life is so different now from where it was when I began working with her in 2011. At that time, I was in a dysfunctional marriage. I had my own business, I was raising 2 children, and completely dead inside. After working with Kornelia, I began to gain confidence. I began to learn and understand how to use my emotions in my life. I learned how to process the emotions that were stored in my body, the ones that I thought that I had already worked through in my 12 years of counseling prior to working with her. The process that she had taken me through of using my emotions to heal my life, to use my anger to find peace, was absolutely incredible. I have been working with her one-on-one for many years now, and even though I am in a place now where I am thriving in my life, I still refer to Kornelia as my coach, and I still work with her on an ongoing basis where we're always checking in and keeping me accountable in my growth. After working with her for many years, I decided to go through her wholeness certification coaching program, and it has absolutely been an amazing process. I now am a certified empowerment coach, and I got certified through her program, and I am taking clients and helping them to find the empowerment in their lives. One of the things that I love about Kornelia is that she taught me that I am the authority in my own life. And that was a really difficult experience to go through because it was really fighting against all of the dogma and programming that was so ingrained in my brain that all of the authority is outside of me. But as I began to understand and believe and adopt and know the truth that I am the authority in my life is when everything in my life started to shift and change. I became responsible for my decisions. I became responsible for creating a life that I love. And now I'm here in this amazing, beautiful place, living a life of so much happiness and joy. And no matter what life throws at me, I have the tools to be able to approach everything from a place of empowerment. And now I have the ability to help other people do the same. So working with Kornelia has absolutely been the best decision that I've ever made in my life. It has taken me from a life of absolute misery and given me the tools to be able to have a life of absolute, complete joy. So I cannot recommend working with her enough. I hope that you decide to choose to have her as your coach. Go through her empowerment coaching program, go through her wholeness certification, and I guarantee you won't regret it.
a lot of times I think we should just leave our breaks live simply because a lot of the stuff we talk about behind the scenes is always like such good stuff, right? It's like, oh, we should have said that. We should have. But Momo, we were talking about how fast people transform working with you.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can always, obviously, if you're listening in, tuning into our show, there's a reason why, right? You want a little bit more, you want some help, you want some guidance, you want some clarity. And obviously so I'm right now offering a free like abundance block discovery call, meaning together in the next, 20 minutes or so that we have, we'll map out what are blocking you from allowing in, or what you're not allowing in, and what blocks are there for you. And then from there, we can see if you want to, clear that and help go on that path on your own, or if you want to work with me so that I can facilitate that for you. And what we were talking about is the benefit of having a coach or a guide helping you with this. And I always have a coach and a guide with me. Like I probably have like 3 or 4 all the time. But the reason for that is because on an energetic level, it's because someone is actually holding you in a higher level of consciousness for you. So when people say holding space, they're literally holding this higher energetic vibration so that you can step into it. If you're doing it on your own, you have to hold that with just you, which can be harder, especially if you're not used to doing it. So that's the energetic piece. Another energetic piece is when you pay, right, someone to work with someone, you are going to make an energetic exchange. So when you make the energetic exchange, it's almost like an energetic binding, a commitment, a contract that you make with yourself. That's what this is, because a coach is just a mirror of you with yourself, so that you can follow through with what you committed. This is your way of putting all your energy behind, I'm going to do this, I've decided. And then the cosmos comes in to conspire for you, right? That's our part.
Yeah.
And then the other piece too is when you work with someone, it's easier for someone outside of you to see if you're still on track, right? You can still go at your own pace. You're still doing everything the same way that you are, except you have someone guiding. So if you veer off course, they can just go this way. Oh no, this way. Oh no, this way, in a loving, fun way, versus like slamming into something going, oh, what was that for? Why did I have to experience that? So that's some of the
having the benefits of a coach, making an investment. It's just like, going to get a massage or getting your hair done or getting a tune up on the car or whatever. It's like we do all these things, or we spend money on frivolous things, when literally this would probably be the greatest investment, is to spend this money on getting in right relationship with yourself and with your abundance, right? So that you can be a matching frequency.
Right.
And so those are huge benefits. And so just one session makes huge difference, right?
Yeah. So right now I'm actually doing I'm signing people up for an online course. My online or my one-on-one is all booked out. So I'm a little busy there, but I'm creating an online course right now that's going to launch at the middle of December-ish. And so I'm starting to book people into that course, which is basically a group version. So a live group coaching, where I'm there every week. You actually get group coaching, and it's going to be an intimate group. So it's going to be pretty personal. And then on top of that, you actually get group healing sessions as well.
Yeah. And the group energy is so powerful. It's when we work together as a group, it's like, like, especially, I know you're an empath and you're sensitive. And so us empaths and sensitives, we're able to feel the vibration of what is in the room, whether it's online or in the room we walk into, and we can feel it. And so that all that old stuff comes to the surface, and then we can lovingly release it and let it go. And, embody that new vibration. So it's powerful. So how can people find out more about your online course? Yeah.
So again, fastest way is to hop onto that appointment calendar for that consult, for that discovery call, and we can talk more about it. My biggest thing as I'm teaching about alignment, I live by alignment. So if you are in like an energetic match to working with me, then we can do magic together. But if you are not, I'm not going to force you into it, because it's not going to help either of us. It
Right.
has to be a win-win for something like this. And it's like, it's a waste of both of our times if we're not going to have a win-win situation.
Basically, you know what your ideal client is. And so
Exactly.
you know your ideal client. So that's the person that's going to be drawn to you, right?
Exactly. And the thing too is, it's the same thing with like a soulmate, right? If you're
Mhm.
trying to attract in a lover, like it's the same thing. You get to choose who you want to work with. And if you're feeling called to me, that means there's something energetically that we're akin to. So
Mhm.
I trust that, and I absolutely trust alignment, and I would never work any other way. Um, so
Thank you for working in that way, for really being a true avatar to alignment, and walking that integrated principle, because it's really, and being a recipient for it, being, it's wonderful to be able to know that you are so dedicated to being alignment, and that's how you practice. And so thank you
right.
for doing that.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
let's talk about rewiring our brain. I mean,
Yes.
right?
So after finding the root cause, the next step, number 4, was to rewire our brain so design you into the right path to get you to where you want to be. So it's the creating of the path, designing a solution. So this is the rewiring part. So you can literally rewire the neurons in your brain to create what we want by realigning our priorities and focus to our well-being and our alignment. So what does that mean? So it's pretty simple. Our brain, our neurons have all these patterns that it's like default, right? What our thoughts are, what our focus are, what we put our attention to is literally where our energy goes. And it's the same for our brain. So because there's more energy going in that direction, it creates more neurons.
Mhm.
Neurons that fire together, wire together is what Joe Dispenza liked to say.
Okay, I like that.
And he is a neuroscientist PhD, so you can trust him.
Yeah.
But so literally, where you put your energy, you are creating new neurons. You are creating a physical new pathway within your brain that then creates a different, creates a certain emotion, and then a certain result in your physical reality, right? So how to rewire, this is the process of getting into alignment and choosing. You have to start exercising your choice of where you want to put your focus, your attention, and your energy. When you can understand this pretty simple but profound concept of, wow, every thought that I have, every place I put my attention, I'm actually creating more neurons and pathways in my brain. If that makes sense to you, then you start getting a lot more hoardy around where you want to put your attention. Like, you're a lot more careful. You don't want to just put it wherever. Like, there's like a friend that is, who is, giving you a hard time for something. You don't want to put more energy into that. Or,
Right.
you naturally start going, well, I have a limited amount of energy that I can use. This is just how my reality is right now. And I don't want to put it there.
Mhm.
This goes to that one book. I forgot the woman's name. I'm terrible with names. It's a book called something about the art of not giving a fuck. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, that's great.
But she talks about you only have so much fucks to give.
Oh.
Your energy, right? You only
Uh-huh.
have so much energy to give. So you have to be careful where you put your fucks. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a limited amount, like you have 100, you have to be careful, because each place you put your focus and your attention is you're gonna give away some of that energy. So whatever percent you're giving away, make sure it's worth it, because it's literally depleting your cup.
Right.
So what the goal is to put your attention and focus on things that's actually going to feed you while you feed it. So that way your cup is never depleted, or your cup never goes down to zero, and your energy level stays at from like a overflowing place.
Exactly. And I mean, really, that's the place that we want to give from. We don't want to give from a depleted state. We want to give from an overflowing cup. We want the cup to be overflowing and give away from our overflow, rather than feeling like, oh my gosh, you're giving from a depleted state.
Exactly. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at the very end. But in terms of the how to rewire your brain, it's pretty simple. The first piece is to bring some more awareness into your daily thoughts. So you can start by, I like to start by, like, meditation really helps with that, because what meditation does is brings your like monkey brain into stillness. when you can practice going into stillness, you're able to see your thoughts as separate entities. They're not a part of you. They're just these floating thoughts that come by, and you either jump on that train and go on that train of thought, or you go, I'm okay with that one. I can let you go.
Yeah.
So meditation is a big one. Journaling is another. Having any practice to help you get out of your head and into your heart, into your body, another great way. The actual like nitty gritty details of what steps we would take if we were to work together would be more of the belief system work. So
Yeah.
seeing where your beliefs are, seeing where your energy is, and seeing what you can buy into to shift you into that focus. So I would create an actual design for you, specifically for you, and then you would practice that every time, every time, every time. And every time you can practice that, you're going to get back into alignment. So not only are you working towards what you want, you're going to feel good doing it.
And you're reprogramming your DNA.
Yep. You are literally creating new pathways. So it's like a muscle that you have to build. You're going to, and what's good is when you're building a muscle, it usually doesn't feel good. There's a little bit of pain there. But with this work, there is no pain. It actually feels good because you're choosing the better feeling every time. That's what you're doing.
And you're bringing your body into a higher vibrational state of living and being a match for the abundance that you seek in the world. Exactly. Momo, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Janet Hickox, and I want to tell you a little story about a story and how my friend Kornelia Stephanie helped me through to the other end of that story. I have gone from the dark of a story I was telling myself that wasn't true to the light of optimism to see my way out of where I was and to where I want to go. And it all started with her scheduling a session for me to help me reclaim my money or my financial empowerment. Up until that point, I had been telling the story that my business was dying, that my business was not successful anymore. And the more I tried to figure out what was going on, the worse I felt about it. And when I had to get ready to do the session with Kornelia, she asked me to go look at the numbers and where I was through the year to date, and then also to come prepared with a number that I wanted to raise my income to. Well, I was quite comfortable with that part, right? I knew where I wanted to be. What I wasn't comfortable with doing is going and looking up those numbers, but I made myself do it, even though I tried to backpedal my way out of the session. She didn't know that, but I was going to try to get myself out of the session. And I looked up those numbers, and it was incredible that I discovered through that process that my business wasn't dying. In fact, I was doing 12% better than I had the year before. So I was shocked. I was shocked literally at the power of the story that I had been telling for months. But more than that, I was shocked that I had allowed myself to get there. And later in that day when I had my session with Kornelia, she pointed out some very obvious things like, how are you going to get where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go? How are you going to get there if you don't have the goals written out, if you don't have it set up so that you know where you are and where you're going to go? Totally makes sense, right? I had been in business, somebody else's business, as a sales manager for years, and I was a national sales manager. I had awards for sales management. I had business awards because of numbers. And yet when it came to doing my own business, I totally forgot all that I'd ever learned. So by the time Kornelia, working with me in just one session, got me to look deeper at the numbers and where did I want to go, and actually, claiming where I wanted to go, I was filled with a sense of optimism and hope like you can't believe. It was like everything shifted for me. And I am so looking forward to our continued sessions to see how far I can really push myself to get where I've only dreamed of being, where I've never taken the dream and actually brought it into concrete existence. So thank you, Kornelia, for the work that you're doing out there. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see where I go from here.
So we're back on the Millionaire Imprint with Momo, and we're now talking about how to envision, right? We're going to envision our manifestation, what it is that we want.
Yes. So the last step of now that we've got ourselves into alignment, we've figured out what our goal was, we've figured out what our problem was, which is our current circumstances. We've got to the root cause, the limiting beliefs, and we've designed a rewiring practice to design us to get what we want. Now the last piece is to execute. So executing in terms of the work that I do is to envision and embody what you're trying to create. And the biggest piece in this is self-love.
Mm-hmm.
So even to get yourself into alignment, you have to allow yourself to feel good. You have to allow yourself the permission that for some people, it's very bizarre when you put into words, but some people feel like they don't deserve to be happy. Some people feel like they don't deserve to, not even to be happy, to feel good, to feel pleasure, to feel free, to feel safe. And again, and when you put it into words, it sounds bizarre. That's because you don't know their stories. But it's a matter of, and this is the truth, this is what I believe to be the truth, is we are innately born. It's our birthright to feel good. That is how we're designed. That is our natural way of being. That is why we are here. So there is no deserve or not deserve. That's not even a question. It's a part of who you are. That is how you are meant to be. So, and I mean, it took me a long time to get to that point where I believe that. I didn't start there. I didn't come out believing that. Well, I may have come out of the womb believing that, but with all the stuff that I went through, I was definitely not in a place where I did believe that. You don't have to straight jump there, but you have to start with where you are and then work from there and ease into it, right? Because you can't lie yourself, fake it into believing it. That doesn't work because energy can't be faked. But so in terms of self-love, what I mean is you have to allow yourself the first step is to allow yourself to give yourself permission to feel good.
Yeah, that's big. And, I think a lot of that too, like a lot of people have this whole, from the religious programming, any type of religious programming, feeling pleasure, feeling good. It's all right.
It's all wrapped into that. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you can't feel good, you can't get into alignment. If you can't get into alignment, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the energies and the power of the cosmos within you.
The other thing that I've noticed is also in relationship to that is people are so used to, just like the elephant that's been chained to the chain for 20 years and all of a sudden now is free. People are so used to, and then doesn't move.
Yes.
Doesn't change the habitual behaviors of, it's a habitual program that your body has felt bad for so long. Yeah. And now it's like, now you have to train and condition the body to feel good.
It's so silly. It is so silly when you think about it that way, but that's exactly what it is. So I see this a lot when I used to just do my body talk healing practice. Now I do coaching too. When I used to just do my healing work, when I that I cured myself from lupus from, a lot of the people, it's funny, you take an intake of what all their symptoms are, what they want to work on. And I keep note of this every time, because what happens is every time they start feeling better and these things start disappearing, they forget.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I'll be like, oh, so how's that pain in your knee? Because it was a dominant pain that was bothering her for years. She goes, oh yeah, I forgot about it. And she would forget to report it to me because she feels good now and she's completely forgot, or, oh, like it's hard to even notice when you come back to your natural state, because that is actually your natural state.
I know. I want to say that it's not hard to notice to come back. It's that humans have a behavior to where they don't celebrate the joy and the victory of what just took place, and that they're in that celebration. They just don't celebrate it. It's like, right? It's like, oh my God, yeah, that is so awesome to celebrate it and make it a big deal. Just like you healing yourself from lupus is a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal because we were talking life or death.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So we should definitely take up the Brazilian way. They love to celebrate. I was just with a Brazilian friend who, when we went for a surf trip, and oh man, did I learn a lot from him.
Oh my God.
You have to take every moment you can to celebrate, because this is all you got, right?
Yeah. And celebrating brings you into a feel-good state too.
Exactly. It's a win-win. Like, you can't go wrong with that.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
And so and then going on again with the self-love piece, you have to love yourself enough to make yourself, to allow yourself to feel good. You have to love yourself enough to allow yourself the things that you want. You have to love yourself enough to do the work, to commit, to invest in yourself, to believe in all the things that you want to believe in. You have to love yourself enough to choose love over fear in every moment. It all comes down to self-love.
It does.
And so that's basically what we're working on while we're feeling good, right? While we're getting into that feeling good place, we're actually crunching on something way bigger than that. So it sounds like, oh, you're just having fun, you're just doing this, you're whatever. I'm just like not giving a fuck, like whatever. And it sounds like really whatever, but actually you're working on something way deeper than that. On a conscious level, you're cultivating and nurturing your self-love practice. That's what you're doing. It's very, very profound. And especially if you have any, with whatever story journey that you've come to want to do this work. Anyone who's coming here to want to do this work has gone through their fair share of stuff. And they've had enough, and they're ready to move on, and they're ready to up level, to get to the next level, step into that millionaire imprint and become abundant and happy.
Oh my God, that is so awesome. And isn't it awesome that we said yes?
Yes. Yes, it is awesome.
Isn't it absolutely awesome? I mean, it's like, yeah. And here we are, because we've gone through the eye of the needle. We have gone through the eye of the needle, and to go through that little hole and take your entire body through there, you have to drop so much density along the way, so much old negativity that isn't true, that we've carried around for eons and eons and eons. And the truth is that only love is real.
Absolutely. And the other thing I want to add in there is, yes, we've come a long way, and I've cleared lupus out of my consciousness. It's not even here. No medication. Living the love of my life. Going to Bali, like living it up, all that stuff. But I'm still, even with where I am now, as we are naturally, we are growth-oriented beings. We want more. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm still practicing my self-love practice every single day.
Yeah.
Just because my reality looks different from someone else's from where I was, doesn't mean I get like a hall pass to not do this. I do this every day. That's how I embody it. That's how I envision it. That's how I keep creating more and more and more and more.
Not only that, that's how you're building the new earth, and that's how you're generating that huge ripple effect and the momentum, so that you're being a positive role model, a positive example for others to look at you and they can say, I want that too. I want to live like that.
So my intention actually to do any of this work is to create that rippling effect on such a bigger scale. And that's why I felt this call to have to reach more people, because people need to know about this. People need to know that they are the magic that they're looking for. They are the power that they're seeking. They are the answer that they've always wanted. And if they know that, if they can tap into that power, that and access this alignment.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Thanks, Momo. Thanks, everybody, for listening and tuning in. Join us next week, Thursday and Friday. We'll see you next week.